Beware of sin. We need to think about how bad sin is. We need to see how bad our sin is. Now, we're aware of how bad germs are, right? Looking out here, there's a germ cleaner dispenser right there and one right there on the wall. I mean, yesterday we were coming home from Chicago, dropping our son off in the airport, and we stopped somewhere. I couldn't believe it. On the sink in the men's room was a soap dispenser. On the mirror was a second soap dispenser. And going out the door was a 99.99% of all bacteria and everything else killer was there. So you could, after you washed your hands, twice, I guess, you could even get extra and maybe wipe it around or something. I don't know what it was for. But we're aware of physical germs. I mean, everywhere. We're aware of it. God says, be aware of sin, how bad it is, how toxic it is. Sin separates humans from God. Sin is thus humanity's greatest problem. Sin controls our minds. Sin contaminates our souls. And none of us are exempt from sin except for one. All others except Jesus are warped and contaminated. It's just the guy in Colorado Springs is a little more warped than the rest of us. But we're all warped. We're all contaminated. There is none righteous, no, not one. Sin is behind every evil in society and in our lives. All pains, all unhappiness originates with sin. Sin produces guilt, sorrow, despair, finally, if untreated, damnation. Sin is at the heart of every lie, as well as all immorality, all pride, all rebellion, all untruthfulness, and every murder. Sin brought sorrow, sickness, and death into our world, and only God can forgive and heal our sin-infected minds. That's why verse 12, go back to verse 12. It says, notice this, verse 9 starts, in this manner, believers, followers of Christ are supposed to pray, and verse 12, therefore, is to believers. Do you know what this is talking about? Sins after salvation. Verse 12 is, after I've been completely forgiven, I'm supposed to, with every time I sin or am sinned against, seek your forgiveness, O God, and forgive those around me. That's what it's saying. This is for believers, and it's post-conversion sins. That's why Jesus says we are to ask God to forgive us, because forgiveness is to be at the heart of who we are. We are forgiven by God for all our sins. Therefore, we can never stop forgiving others.